Good morning, students. This video is for class 4 science, and today our topic of discussion from the chapter light will be the properties of light. Properties of light. So, what are the properties of light? Light has its own characteristic, own properties. So, what are it? Number one, light travels in a straight line in the form of rays. So, light does not bend. Light does not bend like this and all. It flows. It travels in a straight path. Suppose if there is any blockage, this light cannot go through that. So, light travels in a straight path. Second, light, the speed of light is very fast. Light travels at a very fast speed at a speed of 3 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 meter per second. So light travels in a very straight path with a very fast speed, with a very high speed. Next, light travels in all directions from its sources. So, suppose a bulb. If you take a bulb or the sun or tube light, light travels in all the direction. It is not that it will travel only, suppose, say at the front or at the back or maybe below. No, light travels if there is a light. If this is a sun, it travels in all the direction. Light travels in all the direction. Next, light can also travel through empty space. Now, empty space here in the sense that if there is nothing, wherever there is empty space, it is filled with air. Now, suppose an empty space which is not filled with air also, then also light can travel. Because light can travel. Now, suppose if you take the sound, suppose if there is no air present in it, whenever I talk or you talk to someone, if there is no medium, that means air, that means the person who is listening cannot listen. So you have to have a medium so that the sound can travel from one place to another. But light does not need any medium. If the place is totally empty, not even air is filled, then also light can travel. That is why they said light can also travel through empty space, means vacuum space where there is no air, nothing. Next, light can be reflected. When light rays fall on any surface, it bounces back. This is called reflection of light. So light, if you have seen, when you throw, so just for example, now I am teaching. Now the light of the room is on. Now this light falls on the book and the book reflects the light. That is why I am able to see the book. When you study, when you see things and other, light falls on that object and the object reflects back, the object gives it back. That is why they are able to see, they are able to be seen. This reflection of light, the light of the reflected light, this reflected light is known as reflection of light. If there is no reflection of light, you cannot see the object. Or if the passage is blocked, or if the passage is blocked, suppose I cannot see object because the light cannot reach to my eyes and the things are not visible. Objects become visible to us when the reflected light rays reaches our eyes. Yes. So suppose this is an object and here you have your eyes. Now if this is an object and light from here, if this I take as candle, light falls on this and this light has to reach the eye. The light that is reflected has to reach the eye, then only you will be able to see the object. Otherwise you will not be able to see the object. The next point is that light can be refracted or bent. So the first point, if you remember, light travels in a straight path, and here they are saying light can be refracted or bent. Yes, there is an object, there are some object through which when light passes, it actually tends to bend the light, rays of light little bit. It is not that it will bend. So there are some objects through which, if you see the picture, that is prism picture, there are some objects through which so if light rays falls, it seems like it bends and it gives the different color of rainbow. Let us see. When light travels through water, air or glass, it bends and changes its direction slightly. Means very little bit, very little. When light travels through air or maybe water or maybe glass, it seems, it looks like, or there is a little bit of change in the direction. This is known as refraction of light. This changing of direction slightly is known as refraction of light. That is why a straw half dipped in liquid appears bent at the boundary of wall. So suppose if you drink water or maybe cold drinks, if when you put the straw in the glass, you will see it looks like the end portion which is dipped in the water or in the cold drinks, that seems like it is bent at the bottom. Another example of refraction is splitting of visible light into 7 different colors through a glass prism. So one more example is that when light rays passes through a glass prism and when the light reflects, when the light is reflected, you can see the color, different color of the light. These colors are violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, red and orange and red. To remember this serially, to remember this light serially, there is a word called Vig. If you remember this, that means Vig, Vig. That means violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. So if you remember this word, you can remember the series or the serial of the different colors. So I hope all of you have understood these properties of light. It travels in straight path. It travels at a very high speed, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8. That means it does not need any medium. It can travel in empty space. The light gets reflected and then only we are able to see the object, and light gets refracted also. That means it changes its direction slightly. So these are the properties of light. Please study this, children, and if you face any problem, you can ask me. So for today up to this much. Thank you, class.